Hello everyone, welcome to the Jewish Week Online. We're here at Advancing Jewish Professionals event in New York City to learn about public speaking. Let's take a closer look. Public speaking is always something that people kind of fear. It's one of those things where, how do you connect to your audience? How do you get in front of 400 people or even 100 people? What are some things that people can learn to do the presentation of their dreams and just to connect to people that are in the audience?
Well, the first thing I would say is to just erase those two words, public speaking, from your mind in the first place. Because in truth, there is no such thing as public speaking. Every time you get up in front of an audience, whether you're speaking to just you and I talking, or you're talking to a crowd of 10,000, you are having a one-on-one conversation with each person in the audience. Because really that's all you're doing. You're addressing individuals. And so most people speak very naturally and with a lot of inflection and a lot of variation in their voice when they're talking one-on-one to a good friend. And that is what you want to replicate each time you get up in front of an audience.
And I think that's, it's very interesting because everyone had this block sometimes, of how to connect. If it's either during a presentation or even a meeting, it's that one thing that everyone sort of thinks about. Okay, so how do I do it? How do make the wow experience? What are some quick advice? What are some quick advice you have for this type of thing?
The main advice I have is to make your audience essential to the presentation. So in other words, the presentation couldn't happen without the particular group of people that you're talking to. And the way to do that is to think about who your audience is, what do they really care about, what matters to them, and then to be present with the people in the room. Because what, after all, is fear? We're worried about two things. We're worried about what's happened in the past. Are we prepared enough? Did we mess up before? And we're worried about what's going to happen in the future. Will they like me? Will I mess up? Okay, so get in the present moment and just be with the people in that room. Have that one-on-one connection and conversation with them. Now, we're now going to get into the core, not only of this story, but of any presentation that you give, whether you're telling a story, whether you're making an announcement, whether you're speaking at a meeting, whether you're giving a formal 20-minute lecture. The core. And to explain the core, I need to talk about my 5-year-old son and an experience we had last summer walking along the beach where we saw a starfish in the water. And it was a beautiful big starfish. Does anyone know what's unique or special about a starfish? Yeah.
It regenerates if you cut off one of its arms.
Very good. Is it Sarah?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. It regenerates. So my son asked the question, can humans do that? Can they regenerate their limbs? And at first I said, no, they don't have that special ability. But then I thought about it because I'm always thinking about speaking and making analogies to speaking. And I realized that we can regenerate our limbs. And this is what I mean. Sarah, do you know why starfish can do that?
No, I don't, actually.
Wow. Interestingly enough, it's because all of the information they need to regenerate their limbs is located in the central disc of their body. So as long as that central disc is intact, then if they lose a limb, they can regenerate. And the same is true for speaking. As long as your core is intact, your core message, you really own that and you know what you want to say, then if you lose a limb, if someone throws at you a question you didn't expect, if you go off on a tangent, if you forget something, if you just make a mistake of some sort, you can regenerate because you know your core. So this is your core. Now that you know your audience, what is the one thing from your story? What is the one thing that you need the audience to know? If they come away from your story with one piece of information, what is it? Yeah.
I'll give it a try.
Can we wait until
I thought you wanted
we go to the
to
other?
answer.
Oh, no. I just wanted you to write it down. Thank you. I would love for you to give it a try, but we're going to wait till we get to the other two. Okay. How do you want your audience to feel when they listen to your story? People remember what they felt much more than the information that they learned. So how do you want your audience to feel? Pick an emotion. Do you want them to feel motivated, inspired, compelled, frustrated? How do you want them to feel? And finally, because there's never any such thing as a purely informative speech or story or presentation, what do you want them to do after hearing your story? What do you want them to do?
So this was a fantastic event. Really learned a lot about public speaking. Tell us a little bit about the organization.
So Advancing Jewish Professionals is a group for Jewish communal professionals. We normally like to say in the earlier stages of their career, so up to 10 years. And we pretty much provide professional development, networking, and community service opportunities for New York City area Jewish communal professionals to gather around and learn. So some of our events have included a panel earlier in the year with the head of Hazon, a senior vice president at UJA, the rabbi at JCSA Manhattan, and we learned about building your career ladder. We also had a professional development event and a community service event in the winter, and now we had this public speaking event.
And professional development is so key to growing in this field, and it's fantastic that you're able to bring these amazing speakers to really help in especially with public speaking. I find it's difficult to get that connection to the people, and you've done a fantastic job in bringing a high caliber of presenters to really make people enjoy public speaking. I think it was just fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, it was pretty easy to put together, and I'm just glad that young professionals came out and wanted to gather around this topic. So
great. And where can people find out more about your organization?
They could go to www.ajpnyc.org. We also have a LinkedIn group, so that way there's about 120 Jewish professionals that can connect with one another on LinkedIn. If you search under groups for Advancing Jewish Professionals New York City, you should be able to find it.
Great. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to sharing in your future events.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
As you can see, public speaking is a critical tool for any Jewish professional. This is Aaron Herman, and thanks for watching.